What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Deluxe, and today we are here with the podcast once again, the CrewCast podcast. And today we have D20 and Shadow Beats, as well as myself.
Hi.
We might have a couple more people joining. I'm not for sure, but you know, as always, this is a pretty dang good group. I think we've done many podcasts with this group, so we're going to start off with our Twitter questions. I asked you guys about topics, and we're going to take one from you guys, and then we're going to go from there and see how it goes. Now, last week, a lot of you wanted to hear more than just one topic from us, and I will apologize, number one, for the people that are EU fans, didn't have no clue what Buffalo Wild Wings was, but yeah, we kind of got on one topic and kind of ran with it the whole time. And I apologize for that. So we'll try definitely to do more than one topic.
It never happened when I was in charge of the podcast.
It didn't. The one and only time it happened, it's there. And I think Joel's coming in as well. Going to make a guest appearance, maybe. Nope. I don't know. He skipped over us. So we're looking at Team Speak right now. And that's a no. Okay. But here we go. So the topic that you guys wanted to hear about, and this has been asked 1,000 different times, and I kind of skipped over it just because I don't know how the other guys feel about it. I don't know how I feel about it. But what is your type of girl? I will let D20 start with this one. I usually start off, but I want to hear D20's because I don't want to go in and taint people's ideas of what a perfect girl is, or what's your type of girl. So go ahead.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to like put it into like a box without given like the stereotypical kind of stuff. I mean, obviously thick,
thick. She gonna be thick.
The more C's, the better.
Yeah, the more C's. Yeah. Anyway, but no, I don't know. Just like, are we talking about like physical attributes? Or
yeah, we're talking about everything. We're talking about physical and.
I would say like, I would want somebody that would be smart. At least, like, not like a neurosurgeon or anything, which that'd be nice. I could be stay-at-home boo for the rest of my life.
Sure.
But be my sugar mama. But anyway, like, I want somebody that's, at least smart in some aspects. I want somebody that has a good sense of humor. That, like, all my hilarious jokes are not over their head. Like, not somebody a little bit. Maybe gullible, but not like overly gullible, like believe everything. I mentioned thick. I don't know. I guess that would be. I don't care as much about. I mean, at least 3-4 inches.
3-4 to penetrate me in some form or fashion.
I want to feel.
Yeah, I don't want to feel much. I have a queasy stomach when it comes to anal penetration.
I figured you did.
Yeah, I did. But I don't know. I guess that would be like the actual like other stuff. But I guess I don't really like have a preference on like hair color or eye color or any of that kind of stuff. I don't know. Just thick.
Just thick. For me, I know that as far as girls, now of course, you can't tell, like the perfect person for you might be outside these parameters. This is just the ideal girl that I've came up with in my head over the past, 20-some years. So basically, this is the person that if I could pick on a person, this is what I'd be. Not necessarily what it has to be. I'm with you. I want someone that's smart, but not crazy smart. When it comes to that stuff, I want someone that can take a freaking joke, that can joke with me back, that is witty, that is somebody that can outdo me when it comes to, like almost kind of someone that's very playful, that can play pranks and be that kind of person on that side of it. I don't want someone that's super serious all the dang time. But also, if you're going to settle down with somebody, I got to find that they have mother-like qualities. Like if they're going to raise some children, that they can... one, hold down a job. That is huge for me. Can you have a steady job? Are you smart?
Childbearing hips.
Amen. You got to have thick. But 3 C's on this one. I have to have someone that is shorter than me. I am 5'10" and a half. I know people don't like the half stuff, but they have to have someone that's shorter than me. I don't know if I could date someone that was like a 6'2" girl. I don't know if I could. So if you're over like 5'10", probably not for me. I don't know. It's just one of those weird things for me. I'm gonna be honest about it. So I have to have someone that's shorter than me.
You just want to pull them into your bosom.
Exactly. I want to be able to kiss them on
Suffocate.
top of the head. I know that sounds really stupid, but I gotta have
I want
someone
them to be able to suck my dick without them kneeling down.
right. Exactly.
Little people, big world.
But definitely short. Somewhat. I don't care about hair color either, but I do have a big thing for redheads. I don't know why it is, but redheads do it for me. It is hot. It is like I feel like redheads are like rare and exotic. That kind of is a turn on for me. Like exotic. I don't know. Like someone with very bright eyes, whether it's green, whether it's blue, whether it's whatever. It's someone that has like eyes that really are exotic, hair that is kind of exotic. To be honest, though, I'm not. I don't care if they're white, black, Hispanic. Pretty girls are pretty girls. Like I think Tyra Banks is gorgeous. I think we have like Emma Stone. You guys know is my crush, and she's like pale white. So like I don't care. Pretty girls are pretty girls all the way across. Doesn't matter to me. I always wanted a kid that had like very like tannish type skin, very easy when it comes to that stuff, and then also easy tan. But because I'm very white, I'm Irish. I get a little bit tan in the summer, but nothing that's easy. It takes me to burn like twice before I can get a decent tan. But other than that, trying to think of things that I would like in a girl. A college
Another one
degree,
that I thought of would be like athletic in some
athletic,
sense.
yeah. Know a little bit about
Doesn't have
sports.
to be. Doesn't have to like be like an avid sports fan, but like understand like the basics of sports. They don't have to know everything about every player and stuff like that, but I want them to have like some interest in sports. You know.
I get you. I'm with you on that one with athletics. I just have, if I'm rooting for a team, I want them to also kind of root for that team. I don't know if I could do one of those divided households. Like if they are like,
You're not gonna get the license plate.
Exactly.
House divided or whatever.
Yeah, I've seen those before. You seen those? Oh, I'm a Texas fan and a North Carolina fan. No, that's not. What the hell? So that's a big thing for me is athletic. Where their allegiance stands. Having a college degree is kind of a big deal for me. I know a lot of people are like, a college degree doesn't mean anything, but college degree opens a lot of doors. Now, I don't want the debt that comes with it, that's for sure. So, being organized, being someone that has their crap together alone by themselves. I'm one of those people when I get married to someone, I want to have a joint bank account. I don't want to have two separate bank accounts. I'm not one of those people. I guess it's kind of like my southern ways. I feel like that's more of a southern thing. And that girl has to take my last name. I'm not taking a girl's last name. I'm sorry. I don't want a hyphen in her name. I don't want that shit either. I'm not even name my name.
Her name will be Deluxe.
Exactly. She will be a deluxe.
Not
I don't pick a
deluxe
number.
hyphen.
I don't give a shit. But that's a big thing for me. There was one more thing that I was going to say. I can't remember what it was. Smart. Thick. Shorter than me. Hair color didn't care. Skin color, not a big deal for me. Eye color, whatever. I have green eyes, and I mean, blue eyes seem to be the thing that I'm attracted to, but I don't care either way. What else was there? There was something else, and I forgot what it was. But I got to have someone that wants to have kids. I got to have somebody that wants to be goal-oriented in life, just not, your basic whatever. I don't know. I don't want someone that's going to try to leech off of anything for me, whether it's, I don't know. I just kind of want them to have their own shit together. That's what I would basically say. Get your shit together. But anyways, I don't know. That's pretty much it. And if I come up with something else, I'll kind of tell you as I go. But yeah, that's me. What about you, Shadow or Joel? Your perfect girl. Don't get in trouble, Joel.
Well, I'll go Shadow. For me, I would say it's Megan.
You're perfect.
Well done.
Well, no, I'll say what I'm attracted to about in her is she has a unique style. Like a lot of this is true. I feel like this is even true for me. But a lot of people like dress the same because you see people like, for me, one of my fashion icons is like Nate Shot or just, a lot of other big game YouTubers, and you like to dress the same as them. and or just anyone you see, in the news media or whatever. And she doesn't like dress like a lot of people. It's one of the first things I noticed about her. Like she kind of has a kind of like a 70s type style and kind of like hippie-ish, and she likes kind of that stuff. And she's into, and her style's evolved over the years. And I think her hair is really cool. Like she has hair that you don't see in a lot of people, like the same hair that Tori Kelly has, like really naturally curly and thick. And I think that's really cool. Yeah. And you were talking about sports, like House Divided. One of the things we bond over the most is how much we love the same sports. And
what if she was a Michigan fan?
We've said this before. If she was a Michigan fan, what if I was a Michigan fan, we wouldn't be married.
That's tight. That's straight up. I like it.
That's very honest. Like we would not, and it's because we wouldn't have dated. Like we would.
Yeah, y'all met at.
Yeah, we get mad enough as fans of the same team. Like we both are very big sports fans. So yeah, if it was like the other way around, like how am I gonna be happy if her team wins and my team? So that's kind of like a crazy thing. But a lot of times people bond over like the crazy stuff, like shit like that. That's doesn't make a lot of sense in the real world or whatever. But yeah, those are just a few of the things that I'm interested in. Yeah, same. We're from the same area too, so we bond over that, obviously.
Yeah, I would have to have someone that kind of. I know this is talked about a lot in The Bachelor and Bachelorette. Who's going to move to who? I'd have to have someone move to me. I hate
Jesus
change.
Christ, you should get an artificial intelligence.
I know,
like it just
I'm very
just order
picky.
it up.
I want someone to move to me. Yeah,
and that's like kind of the thing we're talking about right now too, because we're trying to save for a house and trying to think about where we want to live, and that was like the big reason for getting married. It's like we figured out all of the big stuff, and we like the things we hadn't completely figured out. We figured out how to like work things out without getting in a big argument and like understand how to compromise well. So, and she's really good with. I forgot to mention, really good with kids too. And she works with kids, and I feel like she's not a mom, but I feel like she would be a really great mom.
Yeah, I say those, and I've met Megan before, and I feel like she would be a wonderful mom. And I think with you and your nephew, I think you probably see a lot of those same aspects.
Joel's definitely daddy AF.
Oh yeah, he would be a great
goals.
dad. He would definitely be a great dad, Joel, and I would be like, hail to the yeah. So yeah, that's cool, man.
Speedy just joined the call. Ask Speedy his spook woman in case he leaves the call again.
Speedy, you there?
Yeah.
All right, we're talking about our perfect girl. Now, it doesn't have to necessarily be your girlfriend, but like, what are some of the aspects like smart?
She doesn't listen
but
to
if
this
it's not
anyway.
your girlfriend,
well, okay. Here's what Joel did. I'll tell you what Joel did. Joel said what he liked about his wife the most. That were the things that kind of said, "Hey, I'm attracted to you in this way because of this." So, I don't know if you want to throw that out.
I would take myself after a sex change.
Yeah, obvious. It's an easy pick.
I would not be able to date myself.
Really, Shadow? Oh gosh, I'm perfect, dude.
You should try being perfect. It's a lot easier.
Shadows, what's your perfect woman? I'd really like to hear the description.
She has a run with
2D.
her hands back behind her back.
Did you see 2D?
Has to speak Japanese.
Does that mean double
Has
D?
to-
Or does that mean like cartoon?
Has to be in an anime.
Oh, okay.
Has to
Yeah.
be in it.
Shadow got one of those anime mouse pads and he fucks it every night. Pretty proud of him.
No.
Relationships are complicated.
I don't really know. Like I would. It's hard to like D20 kind of touched on this. It's hard to have like a perfect girl because I feel like there's a whole bunch of like like gotta go find your soulmate or whatever. But I feel like every individual person has probably like a couple 100,000 people in their country that would qualify as a soulmate for them.
Well, this is an extremely sexist conversation. It's pretty hard to find the perfect guy, too.
Well, right.
No,
I just say girl because
Need one with a big dick.
what I'm into. If Side was in here, we'd
Yeah,
be talking about perfect guys. But yeah, I don't know. Like first thing, I find resting bitch face to be incredibly attractive.
I see what
Oh,
you're
my.
saying.
Like,
I see what you're saying.
I kind of want a girl like where D-Force is like he wants a girl with a sense of humor and somebody like who can joke around and stuff like that. I want a girl who's
Cold-hearted bitch.
Goes to funerals for fun.
No, but
like
Puts the
that's
fun in funeral.
the resting
best
bitch
dress
face
for
is the
funeral?
best though because it keeps other guys away. Because they see that face and like, I'm not touching that girl. She's gonna bite my head off.
like it's not that like I want her to have like a shitty personality. That's not it. It's just somebody who is just like not gonna put up with bullshit. Like, you know, she's got a sense of humor, like she can joke around and stuff like that, and like, you know, like she can smile and have like, if she doesn't find something funny, like she's just like, shut the fuck up, like,
Doesn't
stop
just
it.
go along with it. She's like, that's not funny.
Yeah.
Like
And
us, Megan and I.
if there was like a situation where either one of us, well, first off, the situations would be few and far between, but if one of us was just being like a little bitch and just whining and yeah, life is so hard, why does this always happen? Like, I want a girl who I can say, shut the fuck up, stop being a high school girl, and she would do
She
the
can
same
say,
thing to me,
"Man up,"
like,
and slap you in the face.
yeah, like that's pretty much
I know a couple girls
like
like that.
no, I don't want to be like any sympathy in the relationship. And also, I would like a girl who wouldn't have to see me every day. Like,
Yeah, you talked about that a little bit. Talk a little bit about that though. Like this is something that Shadow and I have talked about, and I want you to give a definition of kind of what you're talking about. Because when you first said it, I was like, "What do you mean by that?" Because that could be 100 different things. But when he said it, it actually made a lot of sense. I was like, "Yeah, I could be that kind of person too. Like that wanted to not have to see someone every single day."
I am, I'm somebody who enjoys solitude a lot. Like, I know a lot of people, like, say things and are just like, oh, like, I need this more than other people, and I'm not going to say that, but, like, I love being alone. I like private time. I like just being able to walk in any particular direction of my house or whatever and not see anybody. So, like, just to, I don't know, to kind of have a relationship where you go 3 or 4 days without talking to each other. And, like, have her be fine with that. Like, have her, like, think the exact same way. Like, hey, you know, like, when we see each other, like, hey, you know, it's great. Like, every few days for, like, an hour or something like that. Like maybe more than an hour, like go on a date or something, like whatever, something that we both like, and then just like, you know, say bye. Like none of this like having to text each other all the time and like, oh, keep in touch. Oh, what'd you do today? Oh, you know, I just did this, and just it's terrible. Like, fuck off.
But how can you know that you don't like me saying I don't like going to the beach? Because I don't live near the beach and I haven't really been around the beach. That seems like a circumstantial thing. Like right now you don't like being alone, but what if you find a person? I felt like for a while I liked being alone, and then I found a person. I didn't really date anyone in high school. I had like girlfriends casually, and we didn't date for a long time. But I was like, yeah, I like alone time. But then I met Megan, and I was like, wow, I am never sick of being with her.
And that is a fair point, but all I can do is speak for how I feel now. Like, if some girl comes into my life and makes me reconsider all of this stuff, one, that's a sign that she's pretty fucking awesome. And, like, I would pursue that as a relationship. Like, I'm not close-minded. I'm not one of these, like, oh, yeah, team single for life, nobody gonna hold me. No, I'm not just, like, committed to that. But, I mean, just right now, I've had a few relationships in the past, and it fucking sucked because, you know, the phone was pretty much always going off, and I hate texting anyway. But like, there's like, I felt all of this pressure, and it's not even like they didn't even necessarily put it on me, but I felt all of this pressure, like, oh god, like I gotta I gotta say something. Like it's been a few hours, and like she's probably expecting. Oh,
I feel like that's a little bit of an immaturity, though. Like I feel like as you get older, that's not a thing with real people in real relationships.
Well, and like Megan and I never really texted. Like we're the same too. So yeah, I just think there are people that exist like that. It's based on your previous relationships, which totally makes sense.
It wears people out, though. It wears people out.
I didn't necessarily. I mean, I just kind of used the texting as an example, but I mean, like constantly thinking of like, oh, like I need to, it's been a while since like we've gone out on a date or something like that. Like where like I feel like I gotta ask her to do something. Like I feel like an ideal relationship would be like, oh wow, like
a prostitute.
Basically
have sex and it's gone.
It's gone. No, I think what you're talking about a little bit has to do with loyalty a little bit too, Shadow. Like I don't want a girl to always have to call me or always have to text me to think that I'm doing something else with another girl, thinking about another girl, or that we don't like each other / love each other / want to be with each other from time to time. That is something that I think a lot of girls have. Like they either got their hearts broken or had another bad relationship, and they have to feel like they're wanted all the time. Now, it's not always the case.
Guys are the same way.
Yeah, I agree. But for my experiences alone, I'm going, same as far as the girls go. The loyalty thing is huge with me too. Like if I tell you that I'm with you and we're together, then that is what it is. That is the end. Like I'm not here to go and run off and try to date this other girl. If I pick you, I picked you. The end. I'm not trying to go. You won. Yeah, you won, bitch. I ain't trying to do anything else. Like, you know what I'm saying, though? Like, that has to be the end for the other person, too. It can't be, well, you're a placeholder, and I'm going to go try to find someone else. Or I need you to keep telling me you love me or like me or you want to be with me until I find something better. That's not me. Like, once I find one, bam, it's done. The end. And I have to have that from the other side. I have to feel like that is what it is, our relationship. But I'm very upfront and very very candid when it comes to that stuff. I'm like, hey, this is how I feel. I'm a very moral person. I'm very loyal. And this goes for friendships too. Like, if you're my friend, I'm loyal to you. A lot of times we'll have many fights and stuff like that. But for the most part, I'm going to tell you how I feel to your face most of the time. And if we have a problem, we can hash it out. But don't think that I don't want to be your friend or that we're not friends. It's just we're just having a little confrontation right now, but we'll get over it. Same thing with the girl. I got to be able to fight with her. I can't have a girl that's going to be in a relationship with me, and when we fight, she wants to break the whole thing off over something stupid. Whether
that to the judge.
Exactly. So I'm a big person on that as well. If you got to be able to know how to fight. If we're going to have a fight, you got to be able to give some and take some. And I know as a guy that I'm going to have to, give in more than I'm going to have to try to be a badass or like suck it up or whatever I have to do. That sometimes, even though you're right, you're not right. You have to go ahead and accept that and move on from that. So I have to have a girl, and a lot of times that takes time with years of relationship for that to happen, to understand how each other's fight. But I can't handle one fight and we're done. And get back together, one fight, we're done again. And then we get back together. Then in between there's some, some hooking up with other guys and other girls and all that stuff, whatever. That's not me. I can't handle that. So
yeah, I've always thought like if you're willing to break up in the middle of a relationship, then it's not gonna last.
Right.
Like if you're willing to break up once, like, oh, I was just mad, I want to get back together or whatever, then like I mean eventually it's gonna happen again, and it's gonna happen again, and then you're gonna get married just because you've been together off and on for 3-4 years or some crap like that, and then you're gonna end up getting divorced because you're used to just giving up whenever it got hard.
Exactly.
The penis, that is.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably gonna be a lot.
That's one of the best things about Megan is how, like, when I'm watching her have sex with other men, like, how well she does it. Like,
yeah, she's really good.
Like, yeah, she's really good.
From like a third-party perspective.
Any bowl that I present with her, she's satisfied with.
And I mean, any day now, she should be willing to have sex with you. I mean, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, just trying to find. Yeah, she's like, I'm trying to find the type of guys I'm interested in to know, what if I'm interested in you. And I'm like, that's
Right,
fair. Yeah,
right,
we'll
right.
go through as many
Makes
guys as we
sense.
need to.
We just got married for tax purposes. That's fine.
Yeah, that's what I need in a relationship. If my girlfriend is having sex with another guy and I'm watching, like, I need that guy to look over at me, like, in the middle of it and just, like, give me the thumbs up, like, nice, dude.
God,
like,
dude,
yeah, that's
you're
mine.
so great with her. You're like,
She's
yeah, that's
okay.
my girl.
I think they call that cucks, guys. I don't know if you...
Yeah. We kind of prefer that. Like, you don't call them strippers. You call them exotic dancers. Like, that's not our term.
You guys would be called what I would say would be beta males. Y'all are beta cucks.
Yeah,
I'm a really
I'm a
dominant
big-
beta for sure.
I'm I'm the most alpha beta you've ever met.
Like to dominate all the other betas.
Yeah, exactly.
You beta cucks, come on, bring it. I got you, bro. Well, that's a pretty good overall. Just I don't know. Like you said, D20. Like your first quote was, "Can't put it in a box," but I think everybody kind of shared a little bit about their relationship that that they would want. So, and then a little bit of Joel, what relationship he has.
And Shadow's phone number will be down below if you ladies want to try to
Oh,
change it.
yeah. All you bitches.
I think that's one
Texting me,
thing a lot of
wasn't it?
people like. They want to change your man. Want to change your man. All right, we're gonna switch gears.
If you're a fun, loving, happy, positive girl, don't give me a call. Fuck off.
Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. We're going to switch gears here, and we're going to talk about sports. I know there's a lot of things going on in sports right now, and people on Twitter also wanted to talk a little bit about sports. We don't talk about sports a lot on here just because we are like a gaming type podcast / what's going on with us, but we do have a big role in sports. Like, we are huge, avid sports fans when it comes to whether it's the NFL, NHL, college sports, whatever it is. We are very big sports fans, and a lot of us played sports in high school, and had some of us had opportunities to play in college as well. And you would be surprised on some of the people that were actually pretty dang good in sports. So I want to talk a little bit about sports. I'll let Joel and Shadow talk first because I know Joel probably wants to talk about the NBA.
Yeah, Dave's
Shadow
talking
talks-
NHL for me.
And
Oh.
NHL is
just
Shadow.
stick with NHL.
And then D20 and I will jump in here and there because we do a little bit of both because of, we don't really,
Give us the
Go
SEC preview.
yeah, go ahead.
Never
Joe.
too early to start talking about the season, filler.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead,
So
Joel.
you
Talk
days
about the
away.
NBA a little bit. Who you
Well,
going for
wait, when
first?
do you upload this? You upload this on Sundays, right?
Yeah,
So
tomorrow.
That'll be up tomorrow.
you're going to be
Everybody's
uploading
watching
it.
the games to listen to this. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you're going to be uploading it right before Game 2. So if you're watching this the next day, things will probably change. But NBA Finals is going on. I'm a pretty big. I'm a Pistons fan, but I'm a LeBron James fan in general. And I'm also. It's kind of weird. The NBA is a weird sport for me because I can find reasons to root for both teams, and I'm still interested. Normally, if I can't find a reason to root for one team over the other, I'm not interested in. But in the NBA, in this matchup in particular, I could find a reason to root for both teams because I like Draymond
Good,
Green
you've
for
been
the
interested the
Warriors.
last 3 years then at least.
Yes, yeah, I actually wanted the trilogy really bad this year. I'm a big LeBron James fan, big Draymond Green fan. And to explain that, Draymond Green went to MSU, and I watched his whole high school career and all that stuff. And he's kind of a dick on the court, but I kind of like that. I like Worm, back in the day, little. I can't think. I can only think of his
Rodman.
nickname. I can't. Yeah, Rodman. I was like,
Yeah,
what's
Rodman,
his
yeah.
real name? I'm blanking.
By the
but
way, he played with one of the best player of all time, Michael Jordan. That was great. Yeah, he was good.
Oh, Isaiah Thomas? Oh, dang.
No, he played for Celtics.
Yeah, I guess.
No
Yeah,
worries.
Michael
No
Jordan.
worries.
Yeah, not heard of him, but
Horace
I'll have to look him up.
Look him up.
He seems good. But yeah, anyways, the first finals game was really great to start. Like the beginning, it felt like
For
a
the
game's-
Warriors.
Yeah, no, it was like.
Oh, I didn't
evenly
watch the
matched.
first
It
of it.
felt
I turned it on. It was like 80-point game.
You
That's
said
like
you watched.
yeah.
You said you watched the second half. The second half was a completely
Yeah.
different story. But the first half felt like a game 7. Like the game 7s have this different feel of like everyone's at this 100 level and just going really hard. There were so many dunks and just like these high adrenaline plays that you only see when everyone's like fully engaged and going as hard as they can at the rim. And so it was just an intense back and forth first half, like trading haymakers. And then the second half happened, and the Warriors start hitting threes, and the Cavs did not hit threes, which they did all throughout the Eastern Conference. I mean, they just ran through the Eastern Conference nailing threes. They weren't hitting their threes, and their transition defense was just terrible. Like I know a little bit about this was covered on like the post game talking points of things and stuff. But I played basketball, and that's like the one sport I can understand. I feel like you can understand sports at a slightly higher level when you played them. So I don't understand football as well as like my friends who play football have or whatever. But I played basketball, and just you could just see during the game their transition defense. The Warriors are such an offense. I'm not saying, it's not like, oh, there's one easy solution to stop this team, because what the Warriors do is they run at the 3-point arc, either the top corners or the back corners, and to be able to stop them. So what the Cavs are so focused on transition defense, they're like, okay, we got to run to the 3-point line because the Warriors kill teams from the 3-point line. So they ran to the 3-point line, and then Kevin Durant had like 8 uncontested dunks or something, because the trailer is the most lethal part of that transition offense, especially if you're focusing completely 100% in on not the trailer. And it became a little snowfall with the Warriors. It turns into an avalanche pretty quickly, and a couple minutes into the third quarter, it's like, oh, they're not coming back from this. And you could see, the Cavs kind of let off the gas, and then by the fourth quarter, most of the fourth quarter, they had their bench unit in, like, we lost the battle, not the war type deal. So I thought it was going to be Warriors in 6. I still believe that, because I believe the Cavs can win at home, and maybe win twice at home, or maybe steal a game. Like LeBron James, I believe, is the greatest basketball player of our generation, and I still believe that, win or lose. And I think he can. To me, in 2015, by the way, I'm sorry I'm talking so long. I'll let Shadow get to his point. I really like sports. But in 2015, LeBron James should have won the MVP for playing with the squad he did against the Warriors squad, and taking that. I mean, the series was 4-2. To win 4 games with that squad, it was insane. I mean, it was like Kyrie was hurt, Kevin Love was hurt. You had like fucking Matthew Dellavedova out there with him, and I can't even remember the other players. That's like the first name that comes to mind, so that tells you how bad it was. But it, like, he should have won the MVP for that, his stat splits and all that stuff. And I'm a big fan of his, but I just think it's insurmountable to have a team that won 72 games last year add one of the best isolation basketball players in the NBA, and Kevin Durant is a top 5 player in the NBA, to add that to the lineup they already had. I wasn't
so sure that was going to ever work, though, with Durant and Golden State. But I feel like Kerr's done a great job of meshing that team together.
Been there most of the season.
Well, I'm talking about just at the beginning, just taking them in for the most part. Like, that's a big thing to take into a big name like that. Yeah.
Basketball, I know this is true in other sports, but in basketball, chemistry is a really big thing. Like how your coach is. A coach can really affect a team in basketball, maybe more than some other sports, and team chemistry. And even LeBron, like when LeBron first went to the Heat, and when players go to different teams, even if they're really great, sometimes they struggle at the start. But Kevin, the way Kevin plays offense, essentially, he's like a really versatile player. Obviously, he's 7 feet tall, and he shoots 3-pointers like a shooting guard. So he works really well in their defense. That was, I think, a lot of the concern was, how is he going to work into their defense, because you're losing 2 of your better defensive players in Bogut and what was the other one they lost? I can't remember that they were talking about. It doesn't matter. I guess, well, they lost Festus Ezeli, so they were losing front court players. But he is like a front court player. I mean, like, he's 7 feet tall. I've seen the dude in real life, and he's like fucking huge. And his arms are so him and LeBron are 2 of like the basketball freaks of nature. Shaquille O'Neal too. But you like see those people in person, you're like, these are not the same species of human as me. Right.
I've heard that argument before. Some of these people are crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it just to see them in real life. But yeah, it's obviously worked flawlessly. And this is, game 2 could be the NBA is the overreaction league, and any sports league is nowadays. But maybe game 2 is a lot closer, because the fun thing about 7-game series is that you get to figure each other out. So a lot of times 7-game series come down to like, who has the best players. Like, by the end of the series, it's like, all right, LeBron James is arguably the best basketball player on the planet. Kevin Durant and Stephen Curry can be in that conversation at times. So who's going to have the better game? And that's when it gets really fun near the end, unless it's just a sweep. In which case, if the Warriors sweep, that's insane to go 16-0 in the playoffs. That's a real parity problem, even though I wasn't super against Kevin Durant leaving.
I think Durant, like a lot of the big name people that move in, they really don't have any help wherever they're coming from. Like if they move into like a situation where they're trying to build some kind of super team or getting a bunch of people together. And like he's played with Harden and Westbrook, like they were both with him last time when he went to the finals. So I mean, he's
Crazy.
had good players around him. It's not like he's always had to do it all himself, like you see with some people.
Yeah, and
So
it's funny that those people were all on a team at one time. Like if you think about it, those are Harden and Westbrook are going to go 1-2 in the MVP race.
That's
and
crazy.
They were on the same
split
team.
that team up. Yeah.
Yeah, and
they got
Kevin
rid
won
of
it
Harden
like
so
a year
quick.
ago. Yeah, they did it way too early. I mean, hindsight's 2020. Maybe it looked better at the time, but that's a small market philosophy to split too early.
I would like to look at the numbers this year and last year, even Steph Curry's numbers when Durant came in this year, on how much he's had to give up because Durant come in. When it comes to minutes, when it comes to shots in a game, average, like whatever it is, ball handling, how much time of possession he has with the ball. But I don't know, man. That's the hardest thing in the world.
I know he gave up shots, but the other good thing about Kevin Durant is he's a really efficient scorer. Like some of his stat lines would be really. I mean, it doesn't take him that many. He makes all his free throws, and it doesn't take him that many shots to get his buckets. Like he's so large, he scores really easily in the lane. He makes 3-pointers at a high percentage. He makes free throws at a high percentage. So you'll see him score. What did he have? Like 38 points on 16 makes or something in the first game or so. It's just not a lot. Like doesn't take. And some that wasn't even impressive. Like he'll have some games where it's like he made how many shots and had how many points. So he's a pretty efficient player. He doesn't like take a lot away from other players. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's good. Like I got from, I guess it's because I watched him and Westbrook together. Where Westbrook would throw up 60 shots and score 25. Not really.
Westbrook is an example of a not efficient player.
Yeah, exactly.
A great player. But
I would always assume that Durant wasn't a very efficient player because of him. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt like that was going to be a bad push all the way around with him going to Golden State. But now that I look at it, I'm like, that was genius. If you're going to pick up a player, that is the one that you had to pick up, and Durant was a great pickup for him. So I don't know.
I just wanted to. I want there to be competition though. At the same time, like the NBA, for as much as people talk about, parity in the NBA, like the NBA fucking loves super teams. I mean, like that's what you talk. What do you talk about? The greatest championship series? It's Celtics, Lakers, Celtics, Lakers. I mean, Bulls competing against whoever was thrown at them, and then the Bulls Pistons Eastern Conference for a while. Like, what do you mean no? Those aren't. What's the greatest championship series?
No. I'm with you with the Lakers and the Celtics. All those were great, but anytime every time Michael Jordan went to the finals, what happened? Dub, right? At least the Celtics and the Lakers switched off. With them, it was the Bulls won every time. So whether they're going against the Jazz and Karl Malone or they're going against where they go, the only time, I guess when Jordan wasn't there, the Rockets won, and who else won in there? There was I thought there was another team that won. What's the Rockets won back-to-back?
Yeah,
they might have two-peated.
Wasn't it in 95, 96?
Yeah. So, I mean, anytime they're in the finals, they won.
94,
so it wasn't
95.
really a good final series. It was always a dub for the Bulls. So I disagree with that because of that stat line. But I get what you're saying when it comes to finals teams, Bulls were one of the best of all time.
It just seems like, every NBA era has always had a super team. I mean,
that was a super team.
You would,
Rodman,
if you include the Spurs, like a lot of people wouldn't include the Spurs, but the Spurs from like maybe 04 to whatever their run was, like to 2010, maybe that was like one of the more there's a little more parity then during LeBron James's rise. But you have like the same champions over and over. What I'm saying is I want there to be this. Again, overreaction from the first game. Maybe it'll be a closer series than it looks like it's going to be. The home team is supposed to win the first game at home, so they did that, but they did it in very convincing fashion. And I hope that doesn't become a problem because I don't know. It was like it was a really not close after the first half. So I'll let Shad talk about the NHL, and I feel like we went on.
Well, no,
let's give the NHL at least 2 minutes.
Yeah, Joe, I want to ask you, who do you think is going to win the 2018 finals, the Cavs or the Warriors?
I wonder if there's some team that really tries to go after trying to build
another super team.
And just trying to make something.
The move. So, and like. You never with the NBA, like you could get injured. Like the NBA is a league where it's one player can change the fate of a franchise. So I mean, like they say Steph Curry was kind of injured last year. It's kind of, I don't know, kind of feels like an excuse. But LeBron James has been one of the luckiest players in the NBA history in terms of injuries. Like, he's never had a major injury. It's really stretched out his career, and it's really going to look good on his numbers. And he didn't leave to go play baseball for 2 years. But like, what if LeBron goes down in the East next year? And the East is wide open. I mean, that Cavs team is not that they're a fringe playoff team without LeBron on it. Like, he's that good. And I mean, same for the Warriors. They had Draymond made a pretty big error in kicking someone in the testicles in the finals last year, and they lost one of the focal points of their offense and defense. Like the linebacker. So you can lose players in the NBA. So there's always a chance, but at the same time, if everything's even, yeah, these teams are far and away better than any other team in both of the conferences.
I feel like there's not a lot of younger players that are like big superstars. When Kobe came out, I was like, that guy's going to be a superstar. LeBron's going to be a superstar. I felt like these guys, when they came out of college or high school, were going to be superstars, and I don't see that anymore. I see that they're great players. Don't get me wrong, they're great players, but there's not superstars coming out already made superstars.
You heard of Giannis? I think Giannis Antetokounmpo I really like watching him play for the Bucks, and he's like someone who learned to play basketball late, and there's so, I mean, it is really rare where you see. Yeah, he's still developing. Like, it took Steph a little while to develop and stuff, but that you don't. What's rare to see is like I think you think of like the once in a generation, like Kobe and LeBron and Kevin.
I haven't seen
those are once. Those are. But I think maybe there will be one soon because they're once in a generation. So maybe there's one for the 2010s. I can't think of like the last really great from 20. If you go from 2010 to
after
2017, there
out,
hasn't been a LeBron or a Kobe. I mean, I think like out of all the ones I'm really racking my brain to think, but I think I was. Looking back on it, I really wish the Pistons would have taken Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think he can be like a really good player, but at the same time, maybe he won't be. I don't know. I like when I had League Pass and I would find myself watching Bucks games, which is I never thought I would ever fucking do in my life. So
what do you think about
that's one young one.
The way it used to be in the old days? Let's say the Jordan days. Every team had a superstar on it that was a big superstar. So like now you go around teams and you see, let's go the Celtics. There's not a huge superstar. You say Isaiah Thomas, but is he though? That they could probably trade him and be okay. Like they're going to be all right. But you go around back in the day with the '90s, you see like a Barkley, a Karl Malone, a Stockton, all these guys were on these teams, and they were like big guys.
Yeah, and there were. This is more in the '80s and the '70s, but free agency used to be a lot harder. It used to be a lot harder to move teams, or I don't even know when free agency actually opened up. Well, I know it would have been a while. It was Kareem switched teams, but I know there used to be more of a culture of staying on your team, and now a free agency and trading is more of a thing. But I don't think you like a superstar. I mean, would you say Tim Duncan is a superstar because the Spurs won?
I would, but they had David Robinson before him. You know what I'm saying?
For one championship.
Yeah, but David Robinson set the tone for.
Yeah, David Robinson was the name of the Spurs for forever, though.
That's what I'm saying. They had him.
I'm not saying he wasn't a great player.
And then the next team had the next guy.
You have to be really good to win a championship. Like there's a lot of teams in the NBA. I'm so happy I saw the Pistons win one in my lifetime. Like thinking about it now, I'm like, damn, I wish I would have really appreciated that more at the time. Or like Michigan State won a basketball championship when I first got into basketball, and I'm like, you know what? Just being a fan now, I have so much appreciation for that. I'm not joking when I say this. If I see the Lions win a playoff game, I will cry. I felt almost tears in my eyes when they lost to the Cowboys, and they like last year and they fucking blew it, and then the Packers that final game. It's like this is happening again. Like it is really hard to be good, and I envy the fans of teams, like the Patriots. I was like, we're always sign us up for the playoffs every year. It's you better enjoy. Like Cavaliers fans better really enjoy this, because this is like there's gonna be a statue of that guy when he leaves and outside of that arena, and they're gonna be telling their grandkids about this once in a generation player. They might not get a player like that. You might not see a player like that the rest of your lives. How many generations of Cubs fans died without seeing their team do anything? Like it's fucking hard. So I think a superstar, and especially in the NBA, a superstar can change a team. But I don't think it's impossible. That's also my bias from, a lot of people would say the Pistons didn't have a superstar for that. Early what is the 04 championship they won? I think
Did it
it's
have
the
Grant
03
Hill back
season,
then,
but
or was he washed
I
up
think
by
Chauncey
then?
Billups in retrospect is a superstar, but no, it was Chauncey Billups, Rasheed Wallace, Tayshaun Prince,
Rasheed
Rip
was
Hamilton,
okay,
and
yeah.
Ben Wallace.
Yeah, they didn't really have
The
anybody
jerseys
crazy.
that retired were Ben Wallace, Rip Hamilton, and Chauncey. Yeah, I think Chauncey, underappreciated superstar for sure. Chauncey
Yeah,
Billups.
I would call him a tier 2 guy though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm very biased about that. But yeah, I understand. Yeah, they were spare parts, I guess. That is also one championship out of a decade of it. Yeah, like superstar driven championships, like Kobe and Pau or Kobe
Right.
and Shaq and the fucking loaded
Wade
Celtics. Wade and Shaq, loaded Celtics.
A lot of people forget about them.
Spurs,
The
of
Heat.
course. But yeah, it was. I don't know. I don't even remember what we're talking about.
Whatever happened to
Football,
good old the Raptor, the T-Rexy from what's his name?
Chris Bosh?
Yeah, what happened to him?
So Phil should have said that. He's actually because he's having a kind of a shitty time. He got I don't know a lot about this medically, but he was dealing with blood clots in his legs. I wish I kind of knew more about this to speak on it. I'm sure there's people listening that do, but that's a really dangerous thing, especially if you're flying and you're dealing with something like that. That's not something you want to get caught up with on a plane, having blood blockages. And he is having trouble right now. He's still with the Heat, and I'm not sure what the situation. I think so they're not going to play him. I know they won't play him because it's like a liability because he could, have a heart attack on a plane or a stroke, I guess it would be, or something. But they're also not going to trade him because he's under a contract with them. And then if he was, I don't even know if he could be traded to another NBA team because NBA teams would be hesitant to take him because he has like a career-ending deal right now. Like this is it's not an injury, it's a career-ending. What is it? Illness? It's not an illness. A health condition, a career-ending health condition. So I think his career will. I think Chris Bosh's career is over at an early age. But the silver lining to that is when that whole LeBron situation was going down, where he was deciding to go back to the Cavs or whatever, and that like Dwayne Wade was looking at play. He's like, well, I guess we're breaking up the band. Chris Bosh was like, no, I'm going to stay here, and he signed a max deal with the Heat. So he, I think that got him an extra. $70 million. Not that he didn't already make a decent amount of money in his NBA career, but he set himself for life with that contract, and that's going to be really helpful because he's going to be dealing with probably this health condition for the rest of his life. So his career is probably over.
That sucks. I didn't know that about him. I'll
Yeah,
start calling him the
great
T-Rex.
life considering, but his career is done at an early age. It's with, I'm tall. I have back I feel like. If I didn't have back problems, I could do certain things. I also have dunked in my life, so I think that's cool. But I feel like with tall people a lot, it's more of a crapshoot. Like Yao Ming's career could have been a lot better. Like to get to the NBA
He's
as a tall
still
person.
a huge superstar in China. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Like people freak out about him. But go ahead.
But to get to the NBA as a superstar, as a tall person, you need to have a lot of luck in terms of your health. Not that it doesn't take a lot of luck to get the NBA anyway, but just with a larger frame. And like that, so you weigh more, so that's more on your feet, like more pressure on your feet, and you deal with back problems and knee problems and stuff. And I don't know if his illness is necessarily related to how tall he is. I think it is because of I would assume it's a circulation issue. I've dealt with circulation issues in my own life, so that's what I assume that is with my limited medical knowledge. But you just have to get really lucky. So for any tall person that has a long career, good for them. I mean, considering Shaquille O'Neal's he was freakish. He got bigger earlier in his career. He was a little slimmer when he was younger. But for him to last that long in the NBA with that fucking frame and that height, that's pretty crazy. And he said he had some decent injuries, but nothing career ending. So I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like your body would break down with being that big on any scale, whether you
just any tall any tall person in the just playing basketball. I feel it feels like I'm complaining because I know I am tall and I deal with back problems and knee problems, but I always think that's a real these people are hitting genetic lotteries that could not be explained. I mean, especially LeBron James to be let me suck his dick some more. To be that, to weigh that much, and just to be able to go that
Yeah,
fast
that's what I think's made him the best, is that he's just physically dominant. I mean,
Yeah, really
he can back you
physically.
down, or he can, stay outside and hit shots.
Yeah, and
And
Kevin.
so the
and
fact that he
Kevin
can just
Garnett
bully his way around the court
is another
is
one
what-
I think of.
Yeah, when you look at LeBron though, I can't even say it.
LeBron.
He's a DN in a DN's body playing basketball with basically athletic ability of a point guard slash a wide receiver in football. Because I know it's his second sport was football, and I don't know, man. He's just a freak. He's the most freak athlete we have in sports right now. I think LeBron is. So
Yeah, he's definitely up there. I'm trying to think of, but yeah, you have a really good chance in the NBA if you hit those genetic lottery type players like a Shaquille O'Neal. That's what I like about Giannis Antetokounmpo is a genetic lottery type player, and Kevin Durant is a genetic lottery type player. But if you add in his skill set, considering how good he is at shooting with that frame, and his hands are insane. His hands are like as large as Shaquille O'Neal's hands almost. I think Kevin Durant. So for him to be able to have that stroke is fucking just crazy. I mean, a little probably great coaching combined with the great natural ability.
all right, we talked a lot about basketball. I didn't want to run us out of here without talking about a little bit about Shadow. Shadow right now is if you don't know, you should know by now if you follow him
He's
on
a
Twitter.
Penguins fan right now, but he might not be next year.
Exactly.
He's not right now because of what just happened. But
He's a huge Penguins fan, and he's not your average Penguins fan. He really is goes above and beyond when it comes to covering the Penguins. I will tell you a little bit about my hockey knowledge, and that's about it. I don't understand icing still, and I'm one of those guys like where people don't say it's not that hard. If you understand offsides for soccer, it's really not that hard for hockey. But I don't understand
Icing's
it.
the easy one.
Exactly. So whatever it is, icing, and what's the hard one then? What's the hard one?
Well, there
I
was
thought it was
a
icing.
two-line pass, but
They got rid of that?
They got rid of that.
Okay, so icing is it for me. I have no clue what the fuck is going on. I know you. Can you explain icing just a little bit? Because I have no
just
clue.
like the line, as long as
If you're behind the red line, the center line,
Okay.
and you shoot the puck into the zone and it crosses the end line, it's icing.
Okay, so if everybody is on your team, or what, or just you?
What?
Period.
What do
with
you
the
mean?
puck. If you have possession of the puck.
If you
okay,
have possession of the puck,
and you pass it,
and-
you're behind the red line. You pass it. Oh, let's say you shoot or pass it down to the other end. It goes past the end line.
yes,
Then it's icing.
there are. It's the cool thing about hockey is a lot of it is up to like
The ref.
referee discretion. If the referee thinks
So is
that,
offside, but go ahead.
if the referee thinks that a defensive player could have played the puck before it crossed the end line, then he'll wave the icing off. He'll say
Really?
like, "No, fuck you," like it's not icing. Which is another thing. That I like about hockey refs. Like, I feel like referees in most other sports are like kind of professional. Hockey refs are just as tough as the players.
You got to look at these videos of I don't know what you call them to search for them, but I've seen them on YouTube before of like referees yelling at players. I guess look for like hockey
They
refs swear at
will-
players, or like they'll like call them over.
Yeah.
They'll like call a NHL player over, and he'll be like, "Hey, fuck you." His face, like the ref is like screaming "fuck you" at the dude. It's like hilarious. I have never seen any other refs do that. Hey, fuck you. Go fuck yourself. That is my favorite.
Northern.
With
Northerners.
a Boston accent, I love it. Hey,
Like
hey,
they-
buddy.
Like just an up north accent. Like, hey, get the fuck out of here.
Like the like with face-offs and everything like that. Like, it's hard for like referees. Obviously, they don't favor one guy over another. But if you've got like a rookie or like somebody new in the league, like taking a face-off. It's not uncommon for like the players to like give the refs some shit, be like, hey, like, can you start like dropping it a little bit more towards me? Like you're giving him all the face-offs. And if it's a newer player, the ref will say, you don't have enough years in this league, buddy. Shut up.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, and
hey, fuck you.
Hey, fuck you.
There really is.
Pulls his shirt over his head and starts punching him.
Yeah. I don't really know how to describe it. But this doesn't really have anything to do with that, but I recently heard about a rule in hockey that in the event that the referees can't make it to the game for whatever reason, one player from each team puts on the stripes and referees the game.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really cool. I mean, I guess it could happen, but not a professional game.
It probably hasn't happened for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's only happened like once or something. Like the last time it happened was like years ago. There was like a snowstorm or something. But yeah, and that's I think that's the thing that I like about hockey the most. And I mean, it's easy to be like, oh, it's so fast paced, and it's not even that. Like
I think it'd be more fun if they didn't know how to skate and they just put them out there on the ice and skate.
No,
That'd be hilarious.
The game itself. I think what you need in order to actually get into a game is you need to experience a game where you have a rooting interest in a team and like get involved in it. Like
I agree with that because the only time that I've liked to watch hockey is when it's like Team USA, and then I actually
and I like Michigan State
America.
hockey. Megan's dad has season tickets, and I go to a couple of those games this season. I really like that, but yeah.
I'm the same way with soccer, but like I tell people all the time regarding baseball, like it's baseball. It's most I like baseball, but like even I admit, yeah, it's boring. Like even I love the Mets, but I got the fucking MLB.TV thing, so like I can watch all like the Mets games. But like even now, I'm just like, I want to watch this Mets game, but like it's June baseball, so fuck it. It's not entertaining. But I will say that when you have a rooting interest in a team and are watching a baseball game that matters, like there's playoff implications or it is a playoff game, it is incredibly intense to watch. But anyway, that's not what I was talking about. But I think the thing that I like the most about hockey is it's so policed by the players. Like there's such an honor system that like every player abides by. And like if a player lays a dirty hit on another player, like he knows that he's either going to get a hit or he's got to drop the gloves and kind of like pay the price. He's got to go up and fight like one of the goons from the other team, or like if he gets like a retaliatory hit, like his teammates will be like, hey, fuck off, but it's not going to be like okay, like now it's even, and then you move on. You see that with like the handshakes at the end of all the playoff series, which I think is one of the better traditions in all of sports. Like just for weeks, you're just like you're going after each other, and like after every whistle, like each other in the face and trying to send each other through the glass, and it's just malicious. But as soon as the series ends, it all melts away, and it's just like hey, good stuff, and it happens instantly. It's so great.
Are we catching up, by the way, Shadow, as far as US goes? And Canada? Are we catching up as far as producing players and stuff like that?
There's no way.
I have no idea.
You don't have any idea? Okay.
I don't. You have an interest in like where people originate from player wise.
I do.
Like
time.
Like you can tell like like I can ask you like for the third string center for the Los Angeles Chargers, LOL, played college, and you can be like, oh yeah, he went here. Like I don't care.
That's my con. Yeah, I do like people originating from different, especially United States, and when it comes to all sports.
Speaking of United States, they just scored a goal to tie it up with Venezuela.
I was just I was like, wait, what? Oh, the soccer's going on.
All right, guys.
Actually,
that is all the time we have for today.
Wow.
I was going to start talking about WWE.
I know WWE
sports.
is the real sports, but
real sport.
I appreciate you guys coming on this one, and we talked a little bit about dating. We talked a little bit about sports, a little bit of everything. So I appreciate you guys. Shadow, Joel, thanks for making it this time. I know we bugged you last time. We won't ever do it again, but I appreciate you doing it, Joel, and coming on here, spending a little bit of your time on a Saturday night. D20, thanks as always. Shadow, links will all be down in the description. We'll see you guys next week. Don't forget to check out SoundCloud. Peace out, guys.